It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Mr. Devdutt Pattanaik today on our platform of Dharma Live and ABP Live. My name is Chetna Kaushik and I am here interviewing the storyteller, the illustrator, the mythologist, Mr. Devdutt Pattanaik. Welcome to the platform, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I had the good fortune of listening to Krishna 360, which our dear friend Deepika sent to me, which is an amazing story. Krishna from 360 degrees is what you had narrated in that. And I want to know this, that how fascinating is the character of Krishna for you, and why did you choose Audible to tell this particular story of Krishna?
So, I try to explore different mediums, and with Audible, I'm allowed to experiment with many ideas. And I think many people like oral storytelling. So you write books for some people, but there are many people who prefer an audio version of it. Some prefer a live version, some people a video version. So there are different versions in which a knowledge can reach people. And I think the audio version is something that has always been fascinating. When Audible said that, will you do this for us? I was very excited. And then I came up with this, we sort of went back and forth with ideas. And I said, I want to do Krishna 360 degrees.
Yes.
And 360 degrees is because it's pradakshina, no? You take a pradakshina of God, you go around, it's a 360 degree turn that you take. And that is what I'm talking about. So it is really a pradakshina, but you make it cool, sounding 360 degrees sounds cool, but it's really a pradakshina because you want to see Krishna from every angle. So across 12 episodes, very slowly and systematically, you understand Krishna as a child, as a youth, as a lover, as a warrior, as a king, as a husband, as a father. So you see Krishna in different ways, like Krishna as a wrestler. We don't talk about Krishna as a wrestler, Malla Yuddha. We always see Krishna with his flute and dancing and singing, but we don't realize he's also a cowherd who used to fight bulls and who would be fighting animals and wild animals. And that is why he can defeat the royal wrestlers. So these little details is something that I would like to, the audience to enjoy and, share with them.
So, I just want to firstly put in a little compliment that if I also heard, I heard a portion of Krishna 360, which Deepika was kind enough to send me. And in that, it is so fascinating, especially the fact that the youth today is always driving, always on the move, always doing something. Listening to that story, firstly, brings us so much closer to the mythology that we have. And additionally, the way you have mentioned, the oligarchy part. For example, right? It was so fascinating for me to listen to something like that. So what goes inside your mind when you're trying to these are layers of, a story often from an adult perspective also, right?
Yes.
From a young perspective, we're like, ek raja tha, ek rani thi, ek Krishna ji the, ek Radha thi, to ji aise hua. But then you are bringing out layers and layers of that particular story. How does that happen?
See, I believe the children will one day grow up. they will be exposed to, they need to be exposed to refined ideas. It's like, my father, when we were children, he would take us to 5-star hotels, which was very expensive, but he would say once a month, we will go and eat there. He says, you must experience other kinds of lives. How, when you grow up, how to sit, how to eat, how to use cutlery. He insisted we would use, chopsticks to use noodle. When Maggie would come, we would try it at home. He would say, you have to experience life. That's what growing up is all about. So when you talk to children, I can talk down to their children and keep them at that level and never let them grow up. And I see many grown-up people still want to remain children. But what I am trying to do is, through stories, help them understand Krishna in a larger ecosystem. Help them understand how, just through the story of Krishna, I can understand politics, I can understand economics, I can understand philosophy, I can understand. So all those strands that there is in the Jarasandha Krishna fight, a fight of a empire builder, a monarch. What about oligarchy? Can there be a kingdom without a king? Because the Yadu kingdom has no king. What does it mean? Is it a Janapada? Is it a republic? Is it a democracy? So it makes you think. We don't know. We don't have all the answers. But it makes you think that, oh, it is possible to have a kingdom without a king. A team can exist without a team leader. We can work together, and and these are ideas that I want people to think about. Why is Krishna never wearing people on television, they show them wearing crown, everybody looks like a king.
Yeah.
Krishna is never a king. Ram is the king. So you have Rama Pattabhishekam, which is the coronation of Ram, which is a very auspicious Shubha image. Krishna is never shown as being crowned. And I always tell people, Dwarakadhish means defender or protector of Dwaraka. It doesn't mean king of Dwaraka. Because he has an elder brother called Balram. There are other Yadavas. There is Satyajit, there is Kritavarma. They are a group of people who manage the affairs of state. There is no king. It's almost like the old Senate in the Roman times, or the Greeks had these polis where they would sit together. So these stories come around the time when Greeks were in India. So we have to understand these layers, especially the child. You want a child to be smart. If you don't want a child to be smart, then you will show him cartoons and just show him dum-dum, fighting, screaming, shouting, and the child will remain very mediocre. But out of all children, 10% of children will become smart. And that's those 10% I'm focused on.
Wow. All right. So since you're mentioning something so beautiful, again, for me, delving into your mind is something that is the most delightful of all times. So I want to ask here that when you are talking, you're just talking about different mythologies also. There's Greek mythology and there's Roman mythology. There are quite a few important and quite a few interesting similar characters also that we saw across Greek mythology. For example, I never knew when I read that Varun Dev is supposed to be a similar character in the Greeks also. Right. So was there some similar character in the Greek and the Indian mythology that was very fascinating for you as well? That you saw it, you were like, oh, they also have it.
So you've heard of Hercules, right?
Yes.
So one of the pieces is Hercules goes on this great adventure where he sort of kills a lion and all this. And people believe that when Balram doesn't fight in the Kurukshetra war and he traveled around the world, he became famous in other parts of the world and he became known as Hari Kula Esha, the lord of the Hari clan, which gave rise to Hercules. So that's a thesis. I mean, we don't know to prove it. It's great fun to hear it. But it's an idea which fascinates you. And we must remember Alexander came to India, and after Alexander, a lot of Indo-Greeks were part of Indian culture. And the Indo-Greek culture, the early, about 2100 years ago, 2200 years ago, some of the earliest coins that we have, Indo-Greek coins, have the earliest image of Krishna and the earliest image of Balaram are found on Indo-Greek coins. With a Chakradhara, what we call Chakradhar, what we call Gadadhar, Haladhar, all these images, the first images, Indo-Greek images. So that is something that is very fascinating, which, nice to, it's good to know these things. I think it's a good general knowledge question.
Definitely. So, all right. So what we also know of generally, like just delving into a little bit more into this, is that, how everything that each of our God carries, each of our lords carry, is also very symbolic of the things that are around them. Right. Yeah. For example, if Krishna is wearing a particular Mayur Pank, so that Mayur Pank signifies something else. If he was a Gwala at that particular point of time, it signifies something else. What is this whole idea of symbolism into our mythology, and how should the younger generation should also have it? They should have it in their mind.
So if you study literature, you will understand that one of the things the human mind can do is write metaphors. So it's something that we don't realize, that humans can explain ideas that you don't experience, right? I can talk to you about something that I can't see. I can talk to you about, let's say I use words like refinement, or I use words like hard work and coagulation. And I'm using these words. I'm using words that you're familiar with, but I'm trying to explain to you unfamiliar concepts. Let me give you an example. I've got a little image over here to explain this. This is a famous Laddu Gopal image, right? This is a famous Krishna's image. Laddu Gopal.
Yes.
Now, my friend gifted it to me. It's from Udaipur. And this is an image of Laddu, but it's not Laddu really. It's Makhan ka Laddu. So it's butter. Now, it's just butter, right? It's a child holding butter. He's also called Navneet Priya. Navneet is the foam that comes out when you make butter. Now, you'll say, hey, there's butter. So simple. But milk is a very powerful metaphor. When you go to Shiva temple, you will offer kacha doodh. They'll keep saying kacha doodh. Don't boil the milk, give a kacha doodh to Shiva. Why? Because Shiva is a hermit. Jo milega, he's accepting it. But Krishna is a man of the world. He wants better ideas. So he'll say, nahi, kaam karke jo shram se jo milta hai, usse nikal. So how do you show shram? You're making butter.
Churning
you work hard, you're churning. And now imagine I'm explaining this to a child, and I'll tell my child, okay, now I'm going to make butter. In the kitchen, the mother would take the child to the butter and she'll make butter, and the child will realize, oh, from milk she's made curd, then she's made butter. Butter has come out, but there's something else left. Say, oh, this is navneet, this is the foam, and everything Krishna is liking. What is coming out of work? If I don't work hard, I will not get butter. So, जब तक तुम काम नहीं करोगे, you will not. I can't see the butter. You can only see the butter when you work. So only when you work will butter come. So, if you don't labor, you don't work, you don't do effort. And that's how the mother would educate the child. And that's how a simple thing like Laddu Gopal makes the child feel, abhi homework nahi karoge to tum life mein kuch nahi milega tumko padhai karna padega. Knowledge is there in the book, but unless you read it, it will not go into your head. In the same way, makhan is there in milk, but you have to churn it out. So that's how simple things. So it's a metaphor. A symbol helps you understand something very powerful.